Hey guys, KangaskKid18 here, back with another round of shiny speculation for the upcoming Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Today's trailer was awesome. We got to meet some great new trainers like Trial Captain Alima and Akala Island Kahuna Olivia. But more than that, we got a bunch of new Pokemon, so let's get started with one of the two Alola Forms revealed today. It's Alolan Grimer. According to the official website, Alolan Grimer was imported to the Alola region to eat the trash there, but somehow ended up concentrating its toxins into the crystals that appear in its mouth. Anyway, design-wise, I think Alolan Grimer is alright. I like the colors anyway, and I think that one way or another, it's gonna get a great shiny. So since Alolan Grimer is pretty much already the regular shiny Grimer colors, let's take it the opposite direction, and just make it the normal Grimer colors. This looks pretty cool, but I've got a better idea. How about we take the green Alolan Grimer and turn him black, like he's covered in oil? It's pretty simple, but in my opinion, it's one of the coolest shinies I've ever come up with. Speaking of cool colors, let's head on to our next Alolan form. It's Alolan Muk. Instead of being purple, Alolan Muk is now all the colors of the rainbow, thanks to a new kind of toxin it created. It now stores this toxin inside its body, which means it doesn't smell bad like the muck from other parts of the world. Anyway, while I think Alolan Muk's design is pretty cool, I'm having a hard time getting past the colors. It's just a little much for me, but I do think that it could lead to some cool shinies. So let's start off like Grimer and turn shiny Alolan Muk a nice purple color, but keep its blue mouth. This looks pretty good, but it seems odd not giving it multiple colors, so instead let's just change the hues a little bit and give it a more pastel color scheme. I think this looks a lot better, but it's still not as good as it could be. I think that like Grimer, Alolan Muk would look best in black, with some varying shades of gray to signify its multicolored appearance. If shiny Alolan Muk ends up looking like this, it might just have to be the first shiny I hunt for. Next up, we've got some evolutions of Pokemon we've already seen, starting with Silvally. Silvally is the evolution of Type Null, and now I'm really confused why they would give Type Null such an odd name if its evolution was gonna get something relatively conventional. In any case, Silvally seems to be a failed attempt to recreate Arceus, and it can even change its type to match that of whatever memory item it's holding. It also has a new attack, Multi-Attack, which seems to be a physical version of Arceus's Judgment, and that it too changes type to match the memory item. Anyway, in a rare occurrence, I have no ideas what the shinies for this thing should look like, so I'm just gonna give it similar ones to the ones I gave Type Null. We can start by saturating all its random body parts, changing its red markings to yellow and darkening the face, which surprisingly doesn't look that bad, and if it ended up looking like this, I'd be fine with that. Alternatively, we could keep all that the same, but make its mane black and give it a red mask and axe horn thing. Not terrible, but it's probably not gonna be the first new Pokemon I shiny hunt for. Up next, we've got the evolution of Cutiefly that we originally saw in one of the Japanese trailers. It's Ribombee. Wow, that name is kind of a mouthful. Anyway, Ribombee is more humanoid this time, complete with arms, legs, and a nice scarf. But anyway, like Cutiefly, Ribombee is largely going to require a complete hue change. Being a fairy type, the most obvious choice here would be to turn it pink, which looks okay, but a little uninspired in my opinion. We could also turn it blue, which I think looks great, but then again, I am a huge fan of blue shinies. But like Cutiefly, I think the best move here would be to make it kind of a champagne green color. For some reason, this just looks supernatural, even if it is a bit subtle. Either way, I really like this shiny. Moving on, we've got the first evolution of one of the previously revealed grass-type Pokemon. It's Steenee. Like I said, Steenee is the evolution of Bounsweet, and like Bounsweet, it too is based off a type of fruit called the mangosteen. Now normally I'm not a huge fan of humanoid Pokemon, but I don't know, Steenee is kinda cute. I kinda like its design, but I really like the shinies I've come up for it. To start with, we can give it the same kind of shiny I originally gave Bounsweet. So the purple bits turn a light green, and the green bits turn a cool lavender color. Which is not bad, but I'm noticing a distinct lack of blue in this shiny, so let's remedy that by making its body a kind of turquoise color, and then its head and leaves can turn blue with pink markings. Of the two, this is by far my favorite. Which brings us to Steenee's evolution, Tsareena. Like Steenee, Tsareena has become even more humanoid, except now it has the ability Queenly Majesty, which stops your opponent from using priority moves. I'm not really sure how this is different from the ability Dazzling that they gave to Bruxish, but whatever, onto the shinies. Now let's give Tsareena the same shinies I just gave Steenee. So first off, make the purple into a nice green color, and turn the hair lavender. But let's keep those yellow spots, which looks fine, but it's about to look great. So how about let's make the body turquoise, make the hair a cool blue color, but make the spots a nice light pink. I still think that Tsareena looks too humanoid, but I don't really care because I think that this shiny is one of the best that I have ever made. Next up, we've got the first evolution of Sun and Moon's pseudo-legendary line. It's Hakamo-o. Hakamo-o is the evolution of Jangmo-o, but unlike Jangmo-o, it's now Dragon Fighting type, a brand new type combination we've never seen before. Which is too bad kinda, because while I really love the typing, this whole line of Pokemon just seems like they'd be great as Dragon Steel types. But more on that later, let's get on to the shinies now. This first one is gonna be totally different from the ones I gave Jangmo-o, because when I first saw Hakamo-o, I knew that I wanted to make it shiny into a Jade Dragon. So now all the scales are green, the skin gets a bluish green tinge, and the red spot on its arm turns orange. Normally I would just call it quits here because I really do love this shiny, but I've come up with a second idea that I think is even better. I was kind of inspired by Shiny Kyurem on this one, so instead of being gray and yellow all over, let's turn Hakamo-o's body white, but make its scales pink, and then make the arms and legs a dark blue color. I can't wait to see what its shiny will look like in game, but until then, I'll just have to hope that they make it look like this. And finally, on to our last Pokemon of the day. It's the final evolution of the pseudo-legendary line, Kommo-o. While I really like Jangmo-o and Hakamo-o, I'm honestly a little underwhelmed with Kommo-o. With all the scales hanging all over the place, it honestly looks a little over-designed. I still kinda like it, but I really wish it had been a Dragon Steel type, which I think would work really well with the armor motif it's got going on. It's even got a new move, Clanging Scales, which could have nerfed fairy types a little bit. It'd be super effective, plus being a sound-based move, it'd probably hit through a substitute. No more Calm Mind Mega Gardevoir, you know? But instead, it's probably a Dragon-type move that fairies are immune to, and being a Dragon Fighting type, it's 4 times weak to them anyway. Oh well, just a missed opportunity in my opinion. Anyway, onto the shinies now. Again, these are gonna pretty much mirror the shinies that I just gave Hakamo-o, so first off, we can go with the Jade Dragon shiny design, which again, I think looks great, and again, I would not be disappointed if it ended up looking like this. But alternatively, we can turn the whole thing white and give it those pink scales, and man, I don't know why, but this shiny is just really speaking to me. I don't know why, but I love it. Anyway guys, that's all I've got for you today. The Sun and Moon demo is going to be released here in just a couple of days, so maybe we'll get some more news from that. But until then guys, as always, we are going to see you on the next shiny.